So, all right. So they're talking about how the thrusters, the helium leaks from the Starliner, did prevent Boeing from bringing the astronauts home. Because what happened? Okay, so what happened is Boeing is another private company, right? They make airplanes that just fall out of the sky because somebody didn't do their job in the computer system. And that's a gross exaggeration, but it is still kind of accurate. But anyway, so Boeing makes the Starliner, right? So Jeff Bezos is on the sideline from this because he's making that suborbiter, the blue, I don't know, penis, whatever he calls it. I don't even know. I mean, I would know, but not today. So Boeing makes the Starliner. The Starliner is what brought those two astronauts up to the International Space Station, and the Starliner was going to dock with the space station, and then those astronauts were going to come home. They had helium leaks on the Starliner, and then NASA made the decision to just bring it home empty because it was going to be a risk to human life, and that's something that NASA has to decide. And I feel like they made the right decision. If there's any risks to astronauts that are already literally risking their life, I feel like we should do everything we can to mitigate those risks. So it seemed like the right idea. So that was going on last summer, right? So, and I'll just read this as a direct quote. Okay. So although the helium leaks stabilized after arrival, problems with the thrusters convinced NASA to send the Starliner aircraft back to Earth empty. That's when Musk came into the picture, and NASA and SpaceX officials huddled last summer, 2024, because we're not in summer, so it's the last summer, huddled last summer to determine a plan to return the astronauts. Here's the point that I really want you to listen to. When I'm saying you, I'm talking to you absolute f***tards on TikTok that can't understand a fact if it f***s you in the ass. So here it is. In August 2024, NASA announced that it would be using SpaceX Dragon capsule to bring back the astronauts in February 2025. Okay? February 2025 was the date. This was agreed to in August. Now I'm just going to wait, and I'm going to ask if any of you hard R's out there on TikTok, not the regular listens, just this is for TikTok people. If any of you hard R's out there remember who was president in August of 2024, I'll give you a hint. It rhymes very well with Joe Biden, okay? Not a particular fan of that president. I was a fan of some of his policies. I was not a fan of some of his other ones, but facts are facts, right? Your facts are fiction. My facts are facts. So in August 2024, Joe Biden was president, made an agreement with SpaceX to go get the astronauts in February of 2025. Okay, so that is a fact. That is knowable. All that other good stuff. What also is knowable is that due to technical problems with the launch, they couldn't go get them till March. That happens. I'm not blaming SpaceX for that at all. Again, like I just said about the Starliner or whatever I called it, the Boeing one. If there's at all a risk that we can mitigate, we should absolutely mitigate it. So them holding from February to March, I do not blame them at all. If there was a problem, I think it was the right thing to do. What I'm saying here is to the roughly 1,300 people or comments or whatever it is that I inadvertently and stupidly started to look at over the weekend, is that President Biden was in charge. This was not something that Trump did. It was already done. And Trump went on TV, as did Elon Musk, and say that Trump had made this deal. And that is a lie. It is a knowable, factual lie. So for all of you people that decided to push back on me because you don't like my facts because they don't agree with your worldview, I just want to just be very clear and point out just how goddamn stupid you are to take that position. And I'm sure this will garner me another 1,300 negative comments, but I don't give a shit, and I definitely don't care what you have to say. If you're arguing with me about facts on TikTok like a and a douche, then I don't really care what you have to say. I will offer up one caveat. If you are doing it kind of in an engaging manner and be like, oh, this was this, and you actually say something, that I appreciate. Unfortunately, I cannot troll through TikTok and do this. I did actually go through a couple of comments, and there was one with roughly around 99 comments, and 98 of them were completely slamming me because apparently I was wrong about who was president in August of 2024. I'm not. But they thought I was. And there was one person that was actually like, but actually everything he said about Biden was accurate. And I want to thank you, whoever you are, for doing that, because I realize how much balls it takes to actually step up and say those things and defend these things. You know, like, I talk a lot on other social media because it's a more comfortable platform for me. I can't stand these like wannabe keyboard warriors that just are going to offer up their incredibly ill-formed opinion about anything. Because like the fact that people talk to me about news that they got on TikTok, it just makes my heart sad, or laugh, or whatever. Like, I just feel bad for like whatever sort of humanity we have left, that you're actually thinking that there's news on TikTok. Like, let me be quite clear. If TikTok isn't making you laugh, then you're using TikTok wrong. If you want news, there's definitely news out there. And you can get it. But the problem is with this whole Dunning-Kruger effect is like, if facts, actual true statements and trueness and truth in the world doesn't agree with your worldview, and you decide to double down on your stupidity, well, what is that going to make you? Yeah, 2 times X equals 2X, which makes you twice as stupid as you were before. That's a little math lesson. I'm sure anybody I'm saying this to on TikTok wouldn't understand that, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. So.